Glenn, who's supposed to be my guest today, still hasn't shown up. I might actually have to call him like while we're live here on air. Like, bro, what's going on, man? These time changes though, they mess with people. Like it's so hard scheduling things. I'm scheduling some upcoming interviews, and one of the guys I want to interview is this guy. He goes by Mish Chad of Arabia, and he actually lives in the Middle East. And so I'm trying to like figure out the time difference and stuff. It's like a 9-hour time difference. So I'm like, okay, well, is that what if I do it at this time? Is it still the same day? It's crazy. Same thing happens when I'm working with like Jack Napier because Jack is in the Netherlands. So trying to get that stuff scheduled sometimes difficult. But Glenn's only an hour difference. So I don't know what his excuse is this morning. All right, let's give him a call. Let's see if he's available. Because this was his idea, by the way. If you guys don't know Glenn, he's a co-host on the Dragon Ship podcast. It's pretty good. It's RP Thor's show.
Dude, sorry I'm late. I was on the highway and the fucking baby was running on the highway. Anyway, long story short, that's why I'm 5 minutes late for work, because it took a long ass time for me to get the fucking delivery in the car.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Can you hear me? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Can I get a 1 2 1 2? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Let me see. I always gotta check it every once in a while, just because you never know. I just don't want to be sitting here just like talking and then not talking to myself, and none of you guys hear me. It makes me sound stupid. So let me just check the YouTube, since y'all ain't texting me and telling me what's up. It's kind of messed up. You guys should be talking back to me, letting me know in the chat, like, can you guys hear me? But no, okay, that's fine. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out myself. 1 2 1 2. Shoe Tide comes in clutch. Awesome. So man, what's going on with them conservatives these days? I mean, look, I'm wearing my American flag, cut off here, trying to be patriotic and stuff, and it seems like there's a lot of things going on with the traditional conservative group. Or you guys think that something's going on with the traditional conservative group that really is not there. What am I talking about? Well, first was like this, I stumbled across this argument about this calendar. And I was like, who's fighting over a stupid calendar? And I'm like, maybe what is it? The trans come out with the calendar, like they have a trans calendar. I'm like, God, that'd be horrible. But no, people were mad that some traditional conservative group or some beer company, I believe it's called like Ultra Right Beer or something, came out with their traditional conservative calendar. Here, let me pull it up here. Where is it at? It's right here. There we go. And so they're mad, I guess, because it's called Conservative Dads, Real Women of America. And it's the 2024 new calendar, right? And it, it has a girl, and it's Riley Gaines. Isn't she like the swimmer? That was like, that got beat by the tranny. Isn't that her? Well, they got her on the cover, right? And these are like, the pictures, and I guess they're mad at the pictures. These Tradcons are mad at the pictures that are in here, or at least some of the Tradcons are mad at the pictures, right? And I'm kind of wondering, like, why are they mad? Like, who's mad, right? Who's mad about this? And from what I gather, it seems to be more like the Christians, the evangelical side, the Christian side of the conservative group, because that's I mean, we all know like the majority of conservatives tend to fall in line with more Bible believing people, right? Yeah, we're good there. Good. And I'm a conservative. I find myself to be a conservative. I don't find myself to be a Republican. I like to consider myself more of a constitutional conservative. Just don't mess with the Constitution, you guys. Just try to keep the taxes low. Let's smaller government. Let's just stick to the Constitution. Let's not try to rewrite things. Let's just leave it as it is. Well, unless we're gonna rewrite certain things, I'll just say get rid of the 19th. But that's just my opinion. But that's how I feel now. For some reason, people think that like if you are a conservative, that means you must automatically be a Christian, or like you could only consider yourself a conservative if you're a Christian. And maybe if we were living in a Christian nation. Now, before you even say like, well, we have one God, we're one nation under God. We haven't done anything about being under God for a very long time. Now, trust me, I would love for us to go back to that day, but we're not there and we're not going back there anytime soon. So this is not a Christian nation. Now, it may have been founded under Christian principles, but we have far moved away from that. All right. We have moved way too far from that. And so I'm wondering like, okay, are the Tradcons mad about the calendar because they find it provocative? And it is provocative. I mean, girls are in bikinis or they're in the bathtub, whatever. I get it. But like, why are they so mad about it? Like, I haven't seen them get this mad, right, about anything in a long time. Like, why don't they get mad at Playboy? Like every year when Playboy calendar come out, why don't they get mad? Or like, why don't they like protest like Maxim's like swimsuit edition every year? I don't hear about that going on. But it's like they're getting mad about this. So I was like, okay, I'm kind of confused, right? I'm kind of confused. And then, like, as you guys know, I've been, I kind of covered the whole trad wife thing, the trad wife movement. And it seems like, these trad wives are like pissing off these Tradcons for some reason. Well, I know the reason, but you guys have to watch one of my videos to go check out the reason. Actually, I'll just tell you real quick. They're mad at these like trad wives that are LARPing to be Tradcons. Like they're just LARPing, they're pretending to be like submissive and everything, but they're more attractive than the Tradcons. So these Tradcon ladies are just like kind of mad about it. Like, wait a minute, you showing them that you can be more submissive than I am? You better stop. You're ruining it for me. That's kind of what they're mad about, right? So you get the trad wives pissing off the Tradcons, but the trad wives want to be part of the Tradcons. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, right? And then then what happened on New Year's Day? I was thinking we were gonna have a day off of everything. Like it's a holiday, right? Everybody's gonna be with their family, or they're still recovering from the party at New Year's Eve, and it's just gonna be a quiet day. Everybody's gonna just chill, watch the Rose Parade, watch a couple of ball games, But no, I go to Twitter, and there's this like all-out war between my friend Rachel. I'm sorry, Rachel Wilson, and this chick named Isabella. What's her last name? DeLuca, right? Isabella Marie DeLuca. And they were talking about like like they're just going back and forth with each other. And like Rachel's like, I'm not even hating about these pictures, but like kind of confused, like how is this conservative? And then they just went back and forth, just going back and forth. And then Rollo chimes in, right? And he leaves a comment. And honestly, I thought the comment was rather mild. Like let's just be honest. Like that was a rather mild comment from Rollo. he said something along the lines like, basically something he said many times, that women, their sexuality is basically their agency, right? And at first, I'm not gonna lie, it took me a minute to understand what was going on and why were everybody mad, and what were they arguing about her video. Like, it took me a minute. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it took me a hot minute. And even then I didn't know for sure. I kind of guessed. And then until I read some other things, I'm like, oh, okay. Now I know what they're talking about. I thought that was gonna die after that. I thought I was gonna be dead. But no. People started doing streams on it. I came across 2 streams about this. One was by this guy named Tom Foolery. He calls this the legendary fight. It's with Andrew Wilson, Rollo Tomasi versus Isabella DeLuca and Aubrey Huff. And I guess I found out Aubrey Huff is a baseball player, or retired baseball player, former baseball player. And he made an ass out of himself, from what I gathered. And he ended up deleting his Twitter account. It's pretty funny. But I was like, what the heck is going on? What is this all about? Right? And so this, I'm going to pull up the little video here. I guess this is what it's about, right?
Overtly sexual. Now, Zola, how's it going?
Let me actually get to it, because I don't know where it is. Okay, go back to it.
Seriously, but she says it's a joke. Other people.
All right, you shut up, Tom. So basically, this chick is making a cake, I guess. And well, she's making a cake, and I'm still sitting here what's wrong? She's making a cake. I don't see what the big issues is here. And then I'm like, oh, this girl got some rather big old titties. She got some big old bitties up there. Okay, is that what they're arguing about? And I realized they're what they were getting at. I'm like, well, is it I'm still a little confused. I get what they're saying. I'm having a hard time with it being intentional or anything, but what do I know? I could be gullible, right? And so they're arguing over this, or Rollo made a comment about this video, and I get what he's saying. Okay, sexual, women are, sexuality is their agency, and he basically ended up saying this girl's tits are her agency, whatever. And I'm like, well, I mean, I can see that. Those are rather large and in charge. I mean, they kind of can't miss them. Definitely can't miss them. And I was like, okay. But I didn't see anything problem. Now, mind you, if this chick was in a low cut V shirt and you got some cleavage hanging out, right? Okay, I got you. I'm with you. I'll be tracking. I'm tracking. And if this chick or if she was in a robe, right, and you just see some silhouette things, I'd be like, okay, I know what you're doing. Why would you be filming yourself in a robe? That doesn't make sense unless you're trying to look like you're trying to be sexy. But I didn't get it because, well, honestly, I just thought she just looked like she wasn't anything special. She just wasn't dressed anything she wasn't dressed to impress. She was just wearing a t-shirt and she had some splatter stains. She had a baby that threw up on her, but it really was the cake that she was making. I didn't get it at first. But then I saw all the other posts, then I saw like the pictures and everything of her, and I'm like, okay, so she's an attractive chick, like, so I'm like, it's not that big of a deal, right? She's attractive, she has some big old bitties, but like, is that her fault? I mean, unless they're fake, I mean, then that is her fault, and then she, she purposely got some big old bitties to make all the shirts, look small. And then that's just being attention whore, right? But I don't know if they're real or not. I don't know if they're fake or not. All I know is that they're large, and oh, I got a super chat here. Hold on, let me see here. What do we got here going on? Bill Clinton touched Glenn. We shook hands once, okay? Man, I thought I told y'all I met him when he was running for president in Santa Barbara at Isla Vista, okay? Leave me alone with that. Covered cleavage baking a cake is an issue, but OnlyFans Maya added no value to Rule 0, showing cleavage isn't. What's with Rolla simping for Maya? Oh, okay. I mean, it like is he simping? And like, are you questioning like why like Maya was on Rule 0? Like, added no value to Rule 0, show cleavage isn't. I mean, like, look, I'm just a member there. Like, I don't make these decisions. I'm way above my pay grade. So are you contrasting like the chick being covered up being a problem and Maya not being a problem who had OnlyFans? I mean, like, what's the difference between the two, right? Is there a difference if you're looking at it? If what they're saying is true, this girl was doing this for attention, like that was her version of sexy. That's like the Tradcon version of sexy. I'm gonna make a cake, right, with my big old bitties, but they're gonna be covered. If that equates to like I have OnlyFans and I have like, I don't know, lingerie and stuff up there, if that means the same thing, then I guess. But I wouldn't be able to draw that line. I just couldn't draw that connection. Maybe I'm just a little slow there, because I wouldn't be able to get there from that. I would be like, wait a minute. I would think that the OnlyFans or the OnlyFans stuff would be a little bit more on the like negative side of things, and not so much the other one. But I think there has to be a lot more there, to make the chick rocking the t-shirt and making a cake. There has to be more there to make it bad, I think, that I don't know about. But any hoosers, what then what ended up happening was, and I'll expand upon that, Bill Clinton that touched Glenn. You can stop that. Then what ended up happening is like, so after Rollo made his comment, it seemed like this chick Isabella got really upset. I mean, she got really, really, really upset. I mean, it literally went like I would think like, if you're gonna be mad, like you would just like give him a jab back, like, oh, you shut up, you old dirty man. Stop thinking nasty, if that's what she was thinking. Like if she wasn't thinking that in the video, that was not the video for, and it's just like, oh, she thinks that he has a dirty mind. I'd be like, get your mind out of the gutter, you dirty bastard. Something along those lines. But, no, it didn't go there. Like, it went nuclear. Like, she went from 0 to like 1 million, like going after his daughter. And like, I wouldn't necessarily like, I don't know if it's doxing per se, but I mean, like, you definitely like pulling up his daughter's like pictures and stuff, and like, like calling her out on there. Hey, Smoking Patriot, if you want to come up, man, I will drop the link in the chat, and whoever wants to come up and talk about this, like, and we can have a conversation about all this. You know, here we go. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Here you guys go. You come join the party if you would like. But what I'm getting at is like, you know, like I didn't think what she did was right. Like what she did was not justified. Like, I'm sorry, like you have to do things to like you have to, like, you know, meet the punishment that fits the crime, right? Like you got to have like the punishment and the crime got to coincide. Like it just got to connect. You just can't be like, oh, he made a joke about you, and the next thing you know, you just like start calling out people in his family. They have nothing to do with this conversation. But like they're like the same age as you. Like, I mean, it just seemed a little too excessive. It just was unnecessary. And so I think for me, that's kind of where this chick kind of like lost everything, in my opinion. Like when she went there, it's like, oh, okay, like you just crossed the line. You crossed the way line. Like, why you like? I'm sorry, you just leave people's families out of like internet beefs. I don't know what's with everybody bringing everybody's family up as internet beefs. All right, hold on. We got the Smoking Patriot up in here. Let's see what he has to say. What's going on, man?
What's going on, brother? I got home from work, saw you're on. I'm like, oh, this should be juicy.
Yeah, I'm just trying to I'm trying to understand, like, are the Tradcons becoming the cool kids again, or now finally, maybe for the first time? I don't know. I mean, I've always liked them. You know, like, what's all this? What's with all this? Help me out.
Okay, so I've been involved in the world of politics since I was 12 years old. That's when I started getting into politics. So 23 years of my life. So this is where culture and politics are kind of merging. What you're seeing. And so basically, the whole point of with the Isabella thing is that if you ever gone onto YouTube or TikTok or watch reels on Instagram and you see cooking videos, typically what you see is the women who do these cooking videos. They're typically saying, okay, I'm making this brown butter cake. All right, you do 1 stick of butter, brown it for them, and they show them making it. They rarely show themselves. The whole reason why people were upset with Isabella is because she said she's baking a cake, but if the camera angle, I mean, when you pull it up, it's literally your eye line is at her titties.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna just pull this up here. I'm gonna find all this out. Hold on. We're gonna track this down, because is that what you're saying? Is like it's because it was like the camera was facing her and not the cake?
It wasn't even facing her because she could have angled it so that way it was aimed much more at her face. But the way the camera was angled, the breasts were the prominent part. The cake stuff.
I mean, if you think about it, like with them big ass titties, like her breast is always going to be the prominent part.
Well, and this is yes.
I mean, like, come on now, like, I mean,
this is
like, look at them damn things. Like, how they not going to get in the way?
I know, like, Glenn, I'm a straight man. I understand. Okay, I'm a straight man. I get it.
Like, I'm not even like my girl got some big old knockers, right? Like for her size.
Right.
So like I understand, like it's like she could be wearing one of my t-shirts and it'll still look like that. You know, it's like, so I'm like, but how is it like her doing it to like try to be sexy? That's what I'm just trying to understand.
So the reason why they were saying it to be sexy is because, and Rachel Wilson even said this, because I followed this thing from the moment this shit went off all the way up until where it's trickling now off. And all Rachel Wilson said is that she even said this in a response of somebody criticized. She even said, I am well endowed in the chest too, but I don't wear form-fitting shirts that accentuate my breasts. I typically wear baggier shirts, so that way if you do see me on camera or you do see me in a photo, yes, I'm well endowed in the chest, but it's not the highlight.
Okay, like
her thing was saying is that because, I mean, again, that shirt is very form-fitting. I mean, you could see her figure and everything. That's where Rachel was saying, okay, I get you're well endowed in the chest.
I can see that you're basically saying, like, you know, she should wear something more loose, something that doesn't necessarily, like, you know, like, I don't know, like it's insinuate them.
Yeah, like a baggier shirt and whatnot, and you know, a baggier shirt. Which I'm not saying you got to wear something that makes you basically look like you got a hijab on, but you
Yeah.
don't have to wear this form-fitting shirt. Because again, it's here. And again, if you look at her, it's not just the shirt is tight over the breast; it's tight even over her figure. So you can see she's got a great figure. You can see everything.
Well, I
So
mean, like you saw that she has a great figure, like with like you know, like her shut up, stop talking. With her like what, like like her hair. Here we go. Like
right, yeah.
you
So
know she has a good figure. I mean, now okay, now this. I mean, obviously, did she put like are these all on her like on
these are
her
all on her
on
Twitter.
Twitter?
These are all on her Twitter. So Rachel pulled these photos off of her Twitter that she posted because
Uh-huh.
here's the thing: Isabella portrays herself as a quote unquote godly Christian conservative woman. But a godly Christian conservative woman ain't out in bikinis and dresses that pretty much that pretty much the dress rides up to your hips. You know, you'd be if you're a godly Christian conservative woman, you would be modest in how you portray yourself. Like, okay, let's look at Candace Owens, for example. She portrays herself as a godly Christian conservative woman. And have you ever seen Candace Owens wearing anything like that? She wears very modest clothing. It looks good on her, but it's not tight, form fitting. These are more thirst trap photos, and that's what Rachel was
Oh, I
trying
could
to point
definitely,
out.
I could definitely say I'm agreeing with you. I could agree with you. Like the photos are obviously very thirst trappy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
definitely 100%. I get that.
Yeah.
I couldn't get that from the cake video. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the reason why, because it's not so overt. It's not so obvious. Like, you know, like sure, it maybe in a perfect world she could have worn a different shirt, you know, but like I mean, I guess I just don't draw the line. Like I don't see where it's like, oh, she's doing this to make a thirst trap, you know, video. I think she's just well endowed, and you know, it's just like, okay, this is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
Now I could see if like she was wearing like pasties or something, then I'd be like, okay, yes, we definitely know what she's doing here. So maybe it's like just me not seeing it right away and not understanding like how big of a deal it is. I guess, I mean, I get the whole fact like you know, like a Christian woman, a godly Christian woman wouldn't wear something this revealing. You know, I get that. I just don't like even the bathing suits. Like, right? Let me see. I don't see the bathing suits to even be like that bad. Like, I mean, this one might be a thong. I don't know. But like,
look, but the one right next to that, she's wearing a black T-shirt, but almost like a thong-like bathing suit bottom.
yeah, like
It's
okay,
not.
like
Yeah.
that obviously, you know, you're outside, you're in public. You know, I don't know where you're at, but you know, you're obviously outside. You may not want to be wearing that outside. I mean, you could definitely wear that in the house. Man, probably if you're taking a picture of it, you probably give it to your man, not post it on social media.
And that's
Obviously,
literally
got it.
all Rachel was saying. Rachel, and even
Oh, I'm reading
mean,
right
I
here.
was on Rachel's
I'm not
side too.
hating. She's like, I'm not
Yeah.
hating. I'm not even saying she can't post sexy pictures. Try to pay attention to what I'm actually saying, not what you think I mean. I'm saying it insults my intelligence to tell me that she is on here to post conservative political content. Oh, okay, I get what she's saying. She's like,
Yeah.
Rachel's basically saying, like, you know, she's not like hating on her figure or what she's doing, but she's like, she thinks like, well, she's not here for conservative political content. She's thirst trapping to maybe sprinkle in her conservative content, right?
Yeah, and that's essentially what and what Rachel was saying was the same outrage against that whole calendar gate. The reason why these two were so similar is because people who are like you know Andrew Rachel Wilson like
Yeah.
me, what we're seeing is we're seeing the right these young attractive women, and I've been seeing this actually for a while. I've seen Tommy Loren do it back in the day and everything. What they're seeing is that you get these young attractive women. They're posting very very short dresses and bikinis, all this stuff, but they're claiming there are these Christian conservative women, and it's like you're thirst trapping like an OF girl does when they
Well, I
go
mean,
when they
come on,
post stuff.
we are we really equating
No,
what they're doing to like what OF girls do?
but here's the thing: if an OF girl, okay, let's take Access Vegas. If an OF girl goes on to Access Vegas or whatever, or Fresh and Fit, or
Yeah.
any of these other ones,
Yeah.
they're going on there in something pretty revealing because they want to get men's attention to divert to OF. And what they're saying, and that's what they're saying with these, is that essentially you're getting people onto your Twitter profile or your Instagram profile by using thirst traps rather than actual smart, intelligent points and whatnot. That is what they're saying. So they're saying, what's the difference between you and an OF girl? You're both thirst trapping to draw people to your individual platforms.
Well, one doesn't have a butt plug in and the other one doesn't.
I know, but that's the whole point, is what then at the and this is where the conservative Christian right, like the Andrews and the Rachels
I'm with them on this. Like I get what they're saying. Right?
Yeah.
I get what they're saying. My question is like in all this is like, is this the war or battle that is necessary, right?
Well,
and just hear me out, right?
Because, no, go for it. Shoot.
Because like I could get what they're saying Like I get it, especially the photos. I mean, the photos I totally get. The cake video, I'm still on the fence on. I really don't see it yet, but like I understand Rolo, and I understand when he posts something. When I read it, I get what he's saying. I just can't say I necessarily saw what he saw when I first saw it. Like it's still like it was like, to me it might have been to me it was like a stretch. I didn't get there right away, right? Like she is. She's single, right? I hope she's single. If she is like married and posting that stuff, she got problems. But she's single, right? This chick is single. Okay.
I don't know. I've never seen her in a photo with a boyfriend, but that doesn't mean she doesn't have one. I've just never seen her in one with a boyfriend.
Okay. Now, yes, she's definitely posting these pictures to get attention, and then hopefully maybe like somebody will watch something that she posts outside of her, thirst traps, and that's probably what she's doing. It's like almost like funnel marketing, right? Like she's using it to attract people to come into her channel or her page, and maybe they'll read something else and they'll start liking her for her other things, right?
Right.
I mean, I see what the problem is. I just think that there's so much more other things to deal with than this, but it is still a problem because if you let this slide in, it will creep in, and then if you don't nip this in the butt, then you just got now you got all the Tradcons looking like OnlyFans girls. Oh, we got Bill Clinton to touch me. Here we go. Let's add him to the mix. What's up, Billy Bill?
Shalom.
So tell me, let me finish my thought here, okay? Before you jump in. I see the problem. I see what they're saying. Like she's more of a distraction. Her posting sexiness is a distraction to the conservative talking points that she may be saying. It takes away from the talking, even if she had good talking points, right? Her sexiness will discredit her talking points, right? Is that what I'm getting at? Is that we're good?
It goes beyond that. Actually, it's not just her. She's just kind of the poster child. What it ultimately comes down to is a lot of people who are on the Christian right. They're tired of ceding ground, and they're like, at this point, if we're getting all of these quote unquote conservative Christian girls that are posting thirst traps, we're no better than the people promoting OnlyFans because we're thirst trapping too. Like, where do we draw a line and hold that line? Like, where are we going to draw it?
Like, shouldn't conservatives be fighting some other stuff before they get here?
Well,
I'm just wondering, like how about like conservatives actually stop being like egalitarians when it comes to like, biblical interpretation of what male and female gender roles are?
well,
What can we start there first? Because if we start there, then we can like, at least have the foundation to build on. Like they're like not building on a foundation because they don't even agree on biblical interpretations. Like if that's going to be the argument, can we at least start with the Bible? If that's going to be the platform that they're going to argue on. Now you guys know me, like I very much support the Bible. I'm very much supporting biblical patriarchy too. Okay, but at least I'm going to tell you, like, hey, until we get this first, until we get our foundation first, we really can't build anything on top of that. We like it's like building a house on sand, right? So, like,
and that's where conservative even gets more complicated, Glenn, because there are those who are conservative socially and say like with like fiscally and foreign policy and all that, and then there are those that are conservative just on the fiscal and the foreign, but socially
exactly.
More...
So it's like so again, it goes back to like not all conservatives are Christian. So,
right.
It's like just because I'm a conservative, that doesn't make me a Christian. So therefore, just because you may think that I should, cover up more, I don't have to, because I am not necessarily that kind of conservative.
Right. Yeah. And I'm just explaining to you the sides and what their arguments
I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I'm
I'm glad you are, because it's a good thought experiment. It really is.
And it's like, so it's like, unless the conservatives are like, hey, we're all united on this right here. We're going to have a dress code, in order to, if you're going to call yourself a conservative, you have to like meet our dress code standards. And like, if you don't, then we're going to like kick you out of the conservative fan club. But like, my question is, like, before I get there, what have conservatives been conserving?
Well, and that's
nothing.
Nothing, and that's why, and actually that's why, because people call Rachel Wilson.
They're trying to conserve. They're at least trying to conserve this woman some clothes, like conserve the skin, keep that covered up.
Oh, right? I don't even call myself a conservative. I gave up on the conservatives a long time ago. I'm a political exile. I'm on my own little island with nowhere to go because I'm so tired of it all.
Well, I'm just like, okay, I'm just saying, like, I just don't see like the whole. I mean, whatever. I mean, it's entertaining, but like if we're trying to reach people, right? Like maybe like if we're trying to correct her, how, man, I think like
she can take some notes. She can take some notes from Allie from Real Femme Sapien. I don't think she's really doing a lot of content anymore because she's actually
she's a mommy now. She's a mommy now.
Right. Right. God bless her. She's actually putting down the influencer role and actually being a mom. God bless her. So
like, okay, it's like, like the only people that like I would take any type of like correction from is like people that actually I have like connections with, right? If it's somebody I don't really know and I don't really like hold them, like value them, like they're not a friend of mine, or like like I don't work with them or anything. I don't care what you tell me. You can tell me like, Glenn, I don't like your cussing. Well, good. You don't have to like it. Right. I probably should not cuss as much. It's a work in progress. I'm working on it.
No, my point was just that if women are going to or if they're going to make note of social issues or talk about certain things politically or socially, they can take notes from Allie, because she had a feminine appearance, but she didn't accentuate, like the camera wasn't focused right on her cans to where it was so obvious that's where you should focus on. It was actually
like okay, let's play devil's advocate a little bit more here, right? If you're not an experienced, person filming, typically when you're filming somebody, you just point the camera at them, right, and film what they're doing, right? Like, unless you're like told like, hey, make sure you film this and you film that, like, because somebody's holding the camera, right? Somebody's holding that camera for her. Did she not instruct them? And if she didn't instruct them, maybe they just figured like, oh, I'm just gonna hold the camera at you and you do your thing, like, like, could it not have been malicious? As I'm just trying to wonder. Like I'm just curious.
Well, I think Ryan pointed out, it was Ryan or Jack or somebody else, I forget who, but Ryan or Jack pointed out that she was probably using software to make them look bigger because there was some weird like distortion on her arms, like how AI gives people 6 fingers and stuff like that. So
she
they
tried
were
to
saying,
okay, hold on. Now we got to do some research. Okay.
Well,
that's what I heard from somebody. I don't know if that's the case.
no, because they were using the reference of her. If you look at her other photos, if you look at
that's what I'm gonna do.
You're
making me do this. This is all your guys' fault. I'm doing this.
Yeah, we're making you look at cans.
You guys are making me do this. Okay, this is all your fault, all of yours. You know,
you were thinking it. We're just saying it.
I wasn't thinking anything. I was just like, okay, we gotta get down to this. We gotta figure this out.
I didn't call you to action, Glenn. You're doing this of your own volition.
This is a no video. She just posted this video. What are you talking about? They look just as huge. Like I don't see.
She doesn't even look the same in the face. She must wear a hell of a lot of makeup.
But like, you see what I'm saying? Like, what's the difference?
Okay, maybe there isn't a difference. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm just saying, like, you know, I don't think this is AI. I think she's either got an enhancement, she had surgery, or you know, the Lord blessed her,
or she's wearing a push-up.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, sure. I mean, yeah, but like that's true
Probably.
too. I'm just saying, like, but like, even this picture, like, she's wearing a long sleeve, like, she's not even like, you know, showing any cleavage or anything. Like, I'm just saying, like, it doesn't seem like it, you know, like there was an AI or anything to like make it enhance, you know. But I do like. I get the fact that, you know what, women like have to realize, and it's unfortunate, but this is the way it is. It's the way that ever since sin fell on this earth, right? Ever since the fall, you know, women can end up, you know, causing men to trip up and start lusting, right? That's really what it is. I remember having a conversation with somebody that I know, that I told them, like, hey, you know what, you got to be real careful with what kind of bathing suits you decide to go wear out to the pool, you know, to go tanning, because you know, you could be causing some guys, you know, to stumble and you know, start like having some lustful thoughts after you, and they didn't realize it. You know, like they were like, what are you talking about? And it took me some time to explain things to them before they actually like got it. But once I explained it to them, they understood. I'm wondering, like, are we just not giving this girl the benefit of the doubt that she might need some explanations?
I think she knows. She knows what she's doing.
Okay, I wasn't trying to sell you out. I wasn't trying to sell you out. I was trying to be on. Keep it quiet.
No, Glenn. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. When you take a bikini photo and you post it to social, you know what you're doing.
Yes,
as a woman, you know what you're doing.
That is completely different, though. That's completely different, right? Bikini, I'm with you on the bikini, 100%. The cake one, I just don't see it, man.
Well, this is how they act, though. This is modus operandi for women, because they act in a certain level of plausible deniability, right? Like, sure, I wasn't really showing my tits.
But no, I get that. I totally understand that. But there's also like I'm not trying to pick a side here. I'm just like, I get both sides here. I'm just saying, like, you know, like Coco got some knockers, right? And like I said, there's not a whole lot she could wear one of my big t-shirts and they're still gonna be protruding out. You know, like they can't, sometimes you just can't hide the damn things, you know? And it's like, how much of it is really like is it really a black and white line type of thing? Is it really just like, okay, it's either this or this? Like there can't be anything else in the middle. That's all I'm wondering. And two, are the Tradcons that mad about it? You know, because like one, okay, let me just be honest. I haven't seen any dudes complain. Tradcon dudes complain about it. So are we?
I did. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, she's
okay.
big old knockers.
Besides you, Patriot. Besides you,
I don't care because it doesn't really. It's just kind of par for the course. What really stuck in my side was the fact that this was an issue to Rollo, and yet here we are in Rule 0, which is supposed to be all men. And oh wait, what's this? Maya? She had an OnlyFans, but she's conservative. But there they are, the knockers hanging out with the cross in between them.
Yeah, that was your super chat. So let's talk about that. All right. So you're saying it's kind of hypocritical.
Oh, it's very hypocritical. Mm-hmm. And he even described her, I forget his exact wording, but he described her as conservative. I was like,
yeah, well, like from what I know, yeah, Maya is she from what I've heard her talk about on Access Vegas, when I was there, when we filmed the Robert Kiyosaki thing, she held more conservative traditional values than any of the other girls that were there. Okay. So she seemed to always be the most conservative and like is more least experienced in the hoish ways than anyone else was there.
So she was like the least sinful person in Sodom.
Yeah, like she's like out of if you're if you're gonna do like on the whole spectrum, she was like maybe off-white. Like she could still probably wear off-white compared to everybody else. Like she couldn't wear white yet. Like she can never wear white again, but off-white for sure. And I get what you guys are saying, that like if you're a conservative woman, like then if you're saying you're a conservative woman, then you should display that in your actions, right? Your actions speak louder than your words. So if you're going to say you're conservative, but your actions are contradicting what you're saying, now we're going to question whether or not you're conservative, right? Is that what we're saying here?
Yeah, well, and it's also just another example of the level of androgyny that we're experiencing in our society. Where
I don't know how that's androgyny. Androgyny is about like like no gender. You don't know what the heck you are. You're kind of
androgyny in the sense of these words like conservative or liberal. It's all getting mixed together to where.
Well, I mean, like you guys, they're all the same. Like they're both just a bunch of screw ups. Like like conservatives. What is a conservative? What are they conserving? They haven't conserved any values. They haven't conserved any money for the country. They haven't conserved anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I agree.
So we're gonna try to conserve like skin showing.
But
that's what we're gonna do. Like,
let's also be fair, Glenn. When the whole conservative thing with CakeGate, as it's being referred to, this whole thing CakeGate.
Oh, CakeGate.
Yeah.
So Watergate. This is turned to CakeGate. Gotcha.
Yes, yeah, so you had CalenderGate, then you have CakeGate.
Okay.
This whole thing literally just started because all Rachel said was wear an apron so that way you don't get batter all over them large tatas. That's literally all Rachel said, and it exploded from there.
Here's the funniest thing, like about this. Like I found a picture, like a 1950s picture. Let me pull this up here. I was gonna lead in with this, like once we got to talking, I was like, so this is what they were expecting her to wear. If she wore that cake, you see the cake. If she would have wore an apron, then you guys would have been fine, right? Everybody would have been fine. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, but that doesn't get as many clout points, right?
Yeah.
Well, like I'm wondering, would the apron actually like cover anything up more than what they, like, does it have to be a loose apron? Like I'm saying this like I'm not trying to be like a dick. I'm just like saying like, look, don't we think we have much, like, again, she is not dressed provocatively at all, right?
No, nothing like Maya.
Yeah, okay.
He's not getting off of
nothing
Maya.
like Maya. He's just not. She's not presenting herself, at least in this, nothing like Maya. Now her bikini pictures that she posted up. Hey, you know what? Now you're looking at they're on an equal playing field on there. All right,
Isabella.
Yeah, because Isabella's her bikini pictures that she has up on Twitter, obviously are they, you could put them next to Mize and they're just as revealing, right? So
yeah,
there you go. They're aligned there. But there's also seems like this all ties in also with this like calendar thing, right? It seems like the calendar thing is an issue as well, right? And I get it. Trust me, I get it. That's why I'm wondering is if like the Tradcons are having an identity crisis. Are they trying to be the cool kids now?
Yeah. I think that was apparent with one of Jeremy. What is his name? Jeremy Boring. Yeah. His first ads for Harry's Razors, he had all these models that were skimpily dressed.
Hold on, let me see what Coco's saying here. Let me see what she says. Okay. Oh, well, first she said, wait a minute. I agree. That bothers me too. That Maya's always posting her modeling pictures in lingerie is see-through in the bathing suit that barely covers up her nips with badge, but they promote her. Well, but that's her job, right? Like her job is like she's trying to be a model. She takes these pictures to get paid, right? So like it's like, are we mad at her for doing it because it's her job, or are we mad at her for doing it for saying that she's a conservative and it's her job?
Oh no! I don't think she ever said she was conservative. At least not on Rule 0. That was Rollo that said that. I don't have any issue with her. Models are going to be models.
Yeah, because I'm saying it's like you can't, if you're going to expect models to be like nuns, well then they're not models, then they're nuns.
No. She's acting par for the course. I'm saying, like, okay, well, if she was going to show up on Rule 0 and she was going to actually add value, fine, but she just had an AirPod.
I'm with you there. Like, I really don't think well, I mean, it was the end of the year thing. Rollo was having everybody come on and give their predictions, and like talk about like what they, what were their memorable moments through the year. Honestly, I was taken back too by seeing a girl on Rule 0. I don't think I've ever seen a girl on Rule 0. And I've been watching it since its inception. So that was a first for me. Like I don't know if it was like if it was even if they would even consider it a real Rule 0, because we had a whole bunch. I mean, I'm wondering if this is like the train of thought that Rollo may have had, right? Maybe it's not even considered a real Rule 0 because we're going to bring on a bunch of people on here that are not on Rule 0, but they're like, associates with us, or, we've worked with them, or we're cool with them. And, we're just going to ask them about so if it's that, right. And if that was the mindset, and it's not necessarily technically an official Rule 0, well, then I guess that's the loophole, right?
I guess so. Although I did like the discount Rich Cooper. I forget his name. The guy. Walmart. Yeah. Walmart Rich Cooper. I don't. Maybe he has good content, so God bless the guy. But
But I think what you're saying, Bill, is this: like your problem is more the fact that like it's not that he just put her on Rule 0. Is like he props her up, knowing what she does, or her modeling or her thing, right? And like you think that he has a beef with this chick, right?
Well, yeah, and Ryan constantly beats the drum of positive male identity, male sexual strategy for Rule 0. So I thought that was kind of the standard. And when you show up and just have a pretty face, it's like, okay, Access Vegas is over there. This is Rule 0, but whatever.
Now I could see like if you guys were, I could see the argument of being like, you know what, Rollo props up this girl over here. Like he thinks that he talks about, he praises this girl, or he gives her, great accolades. But this person over here, who doesn't do that stuff that she does, or as often, or I guess, he says that he posts something about like, her sexual strategy or her sexual agency. You know, are you saying like maybe like Rolo should have did the same thing with Maya, like posted the same thing or said something along the same lines like that? Would that have been fair?
Yeah, or at least my expectation would have just been at least have something of value to add, because that's
No,
the
I'm
whole
just
theme.
what I'm asking, because like you're saying, like he was nice to Maya, but he seemed like he was mean to Isabella. So are you saying like you would want him to be like consistent, like, hey, just be fair across the board, like if like that?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying, because then you're saying like it sends like a mixed signal then.
Oh yeah, it's
Like, or like
definitely
you're saying like
mixed.
it's like he's picking and choosing when this is that. Well, I mean, I could tell you, like, I think I've known Rolo to say like that about women altogether, you know. Like he's told Maya like that she uses her agency, like her, obviously, like she's a model, right? Just because I don't think he's posted it like publicly like that, like, you know, but I know I've heard him say it in Access Vegas, maybe not during the show, but like while we're getting ready to set up the show. So I know that like he's been consistent in that sense. I think it's probably like the issue is that he has not been consistent with it publicly, right? And yes, if that would give people concern and a reason to question, right? Like, wait a minute, what's going on here? You seem chummy with this one, but this one over here, it seem like you have an issue with. I could see how people have a problem with that. I totally can see that, and maybe that's something that he has to, you know, he'll deal with, you know, on his own time. I don't think that what she did though was appropriate by, you know, pulling out the, you know, his daughter's pictures and doing all that. I just think that was way too much. I think that was unnecessary. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, that's kind of par for the course for anyone.
Well, like,
doesn't
that kind of speak more about this chick's character though? Like, if
Yeah.
you're willing to go that far with things, like right out the gate, like if you're willing to go that far, I mean that's a lot, right? Let me get in this chat here. I got a couple ladies in here, you know, chiming in. We got Kate J saying there's plenty of better fitting t-shirts she could wear that's far more tasteful than the one she wore. She knows she won't get those unless she can insinuate the soft core thoughterry. Okay. I totally understand what you're saying. Again, I'm not saying like she ain't wrong for doing it. I definitely think that, you know, if you say, like, just like you said, if you're gonna say you're a Christian, then you should represent it. You know, you reflect it as best as you can, right? And you should be striving every day to become a better, you know, reflection or representation of that as you can.
Yeah, I mean that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Because here's the thing: Rachel made the comment, and all Isabella had to do is be like, "What do you mean?" Instead, Isabella went on a tirade, and then, by the way, Isabella's in the New York Post. Also, by the way, there was an article about her.
Didn't she just she got the baseball player? We'll talk about that too.
Yeah.
Okay, what? So this girl's 23 years old, right?
Yeah.
So she's a 23-year-old girl. So she's not that mature. She's not that mature.
But she's going to save the West, Glenn.
No. First of all, let me just say this: there's not going to be a woman on this earth that's going to save the West. Okay, no woman is going to save the West, and no man either. You know, we need Jesus to come back and do some saving over here.
I don't trust him to vote, let alone actually save the West.
Well, you know, we lost that a long time ago. Somebody was simpy enough back in 1920 to let them have that. Okay, we can't do anything about it now. You know, it's like or whatever. It's a long time ago. The fact is like this. You know, I get what you guys are saying. I think I would have more of a problem if it was like more like in your face. And the only reason why I say that is like just from my own experience. Hold on, let me see what Coco's saying now. By the picture, she's wearing the top that covers everything, but she's wearing clothes tight. I think it's supposed to be tight enough to actually insinuate her curves, which is just a loophole. Yeah, but like, babe, I'm like, I see you wear this stuff too. Like, that's the thing. Like, I maybe I'm just like, I see it normally. Like, you wear this normal stuff. Like, that's
She's
normal.
not posting it for clout though, Glenn.
Well, no,
unless we want her to, right?
No, because there's a consequence for these things.
Well, and then also, but is your wife also saying she's a godly, conservative Christian woman and going on news channels promoting conservative talking points also?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is just Tommy Lahren 2.0. This
essentially, and Tommy Lahren, I have zero respect for. So
okay, I mean, I get it. Like the tight, like, I mean, the shirt could be looser. The shirt could. She also could be wearing a hoodie. I mean, like if we go down this rabbit hole, it's like, why don't she just wear like a burqa?
Well, I mean, but again, I mean, here's the thing: is that if you got a big chest, you can't hide it. But it's more about how it's so form fitting, is the thing. Like you can wear a little bit of a looser shirt, so yes, your chest is going to show regardless, but it's not form fitting where it's hugging every curvature of her body, like
But like like I'm just wondering, like if they're gonna have the same like type of like energy for her, why don't they have that for like every other thought that comes out there? Like at least let's keep it consistent. Or are we just saying, oh no, because you say you're part of us, so we're gonna come at you? Like, I mean,
well, that's part of it. That's really part of it. But
is that what it is? It's like you say you represent us, but then you're dressing nothing like them hoes, but you're like hoish for us.
Because if you see like Brett Cooper from the Daily Wire, Candace Owens, I'm trying to think of another right-wing chick and whatnot. They dress modestly. Whenever you see them, they dress modestly, okay?
We're
and they're attractive
down the rabbit hole.
Right, no, but that's what I'm saying though, is that when you have somebody who portrays themselves as the same as like a Brett Cooper or a Candace Owens, and they're posting thirst trap the stuff wearing an American flag bikini and all that. All of a sudden,
can we at least be honest? Like Candace Owens wouldn't do her any good posting a thirst trap anything. Like I'm sorry, like my opinion, it wouldn't help. It just no. She doesn't have the thing to do it.
She's too much of a feminist to do that. Let's be honest.
Yeah. It's like, and she just to me she doesn't have like the body to do it. Like it's just like
I mean,
like she's thin. That's what she got going for her. But I don't think she like really has anything going for her besides that.
Right, but it's not so much the body. It's more of the archetype of this conservative Christian woman. And when you have somebody like Isabella who's posting very short dresses, bikini photos, very form-fitting shirts that accentuates her body. All of a sudden, the conservative right is like, whoa, that's not what we represent.
Like, my question is, like, if the conservative right's throwing a fit like this, why didn't they stop this when they were going to school or going to church? Because they wore this stuff to church too. Okay, like the same dresses that she's wearing right now that everybody's mad about, she probably wore that to a church. I guarantee it.
And nobody in the church like that at church.
The pastor probably didn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like this correction should have been corrected a long time ago. It could have been corrected a long time ago, but let's face it, the church has been weak about these things. The church doesn't want to talk to the women. No. The only group that doesn't get any flack or any correction.
Oh. Did we lose you?
The only group that doesn't get any correction in the church are women. Evangelical women. You can't correct them. You can't talk to them. You can't tell them nothing because you know what? They're the ones that pay the tithes. You piss off the women, you got a bad day.
Yep. Not just paying the tithes, but they are also a majority of the employees of the church.
Well, they also make up the majority of the people that go there. 60 to 70% is the congregation of women. So it's like, if why are we waiting till they're outside the church to correct them? Well, we could have corrected this years ago inside the church.
I mean, well, and you know what, Glenn? What was so funny? I used to work at a mega church years ago, and I worked in the cafe, and I worked in Easter, and there was a girl who literally had a dress that came up almost to her hips, and she wore like 4-inch tall or high, whatever you call them, wedges, and this was Sunday service on Easter, and I'm staring at her thinking, how inappropriate to come to that in church. And I say this out loud, kind of under my breath, and one of the women comes next to me and says, we have to accept everybody, okay? She'll change. And I just look at her and say,
you know, it's funny. It's
what?
like
What?
A woman could dress like that and walk into a church, and they probably have no question whether or not she's a Christian. They'll still think that she's a Christian, right? I have walked into churches with my tattoo showing, and they think like all of a sudden they change in the sermon. They want to start preaching about salvation as if like all of a sudden like I need to be saved. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they have no problem. Like they're too scared to talk to women and correct women. And then now the conservative group is mad that these women are not dressing appropriately when this should have been handled in the church.
Well, they're mad at Isabella or whoever.
Hey, Nick. I'm gonna drop the link again, Nick, and I want you to come up and you talk. Let's bring the former pastor, like who ran the church, up in here, and get his opinion on this. You know, I think it'll be good to have his opinion on this, because I hear what you guys are saying. I'm with you. I'm totally with you. But I think if there was going to be correction, one, it should have probably been done in the church. And maybe if the church had a spine and actually talked to both men and women and held both men and women accountable, we wouldn't have Isabella, posting the things that she's posting.
Yeah.
Oh, agreed. I mean, Glenn, how many times have we been? How many times have you invited me on? And we both railed against the way the church doesn't hold women accountable for how they dress.
This is where I'm getting at. It's like you got conservative Christian conservatives, right, telling her she's wrong for what she's doing, but none of them are like part of the body of the church that she goes to. So the church has failed this chick. The church has failed her. Then her pastor has failed her. The women that lead the women's ministry in her church has failed her. And it's like, and then now we're coming, like, people want to come at her. Like, I'm not saying that like they shouldn't have come at her. I'm just saying, like, do you not see that the if we're going to start course correcting here, it needs to start in the church. It can't.
And it needs to be the full thing too.
Yes, exactly.
It can't just be, oh, well, you're dressing modestly, but you're still going to run the household. You're still going to.
No. We got to go back to biblical patriarchy. We can't. Egalitarian and complementarians, they got to go. Like, we both know that they have not done anything for the church. I was doing something earlier today. I made another video earlier today, and it's literally talking about the state of the church. I pulled up some stats, and that will be coming out here pretty soon. You guys will like that one. But I noticed, like, the church is like really in a bad shape. Like, the church is on life support, it seems like. Everything from the pastors, like 1,500 pastors a year or a month or something like that. In 1 year, were like abandoning ministry. They were walking out of ministry. It's just crazy stuff. So again, like I'm saying, like, the problem needs to be addressed in the church. And if the church can't address it, you can't expect people that, because you know what, it's funny. I remember Maya saying that, like, she was a Christian, right? And
ironic.
I always thought it was kind of odd because, like, I'm like, you're a Christian, but you're doing modeling like this, like, like. And I don't know her like that, so I'm not gonna like call her out or try to correct her, because I think correction needs to be done from someone that has a relationship with them, like that they look up to, or somebody that has more it's more familiar, right?
Yep.
Because, like, if I just told, like, Nick here, who's coming on, that, like,
Yes.
I don't know him from Joe Blow, and I'm like, yo, bro, what you're doing is sinful and you need to stop. Like, first of all, he don't know me. Now it just comes off like I'm just judging this dude. Like, I have no relationship with him to correct him. Correction is always done out of like love, right? That's where you correct your kids out of love. It's supposed to be coming from a place of like, I'm doing this to help benefit you. It's not just to come at you. It's to help improve. It's help to improve you. It's help to like, keep, just guide you. Like it's supposed to be done in a certain manner. Right. So former pastor Nick.
Yeah.
Saint Nick.
So you know what's going on here, right? With all the stuff with the cake and the boobs.
Oh yeah. It's
the cake and the boobs.
Boob cake?
I mentioned that a little bit the other day. Like you mentioned, like I think the video you released, I mentioned like and cooking too.
Yeah. You said that in our video. I didn't get it. I did not get it. It went right over my head until I watched the video. I'm like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So
sweet innocent Glenn.
Oh, it's like the Food Network. I mean, you get these like hot girls in the Food Network making all that food. You're like,
I'm just like, what are your thoughts on it? Do you think is it as bad as people are making it out to be? In your opinion?
I don't know. I mean, it's definitely I would say a grift. I mean, there's a reason why it's appealing.
Well, I mean, come on. What
like okay, like the form, like
are always appealing.
Like you don't have to have like the form-fitting stuff to like fit your like. I see the shape of your titties, but but yeah, you can dress traditional and man, guys will have a decent looking woman dressed in traditional, cooking a nice meal or taking care of the house at home. Man, guys will want that because I think subconsciously that's what a man really wants.
But really, I'm just asking.
That's what a man wants.
Was what she wearing really that bad? I'm just asking. Like, was it that bad to warrant that level of?
I mean,
now I get the bikini pictures. I'm just asking about the video.
If it was my gal,
Okay, so you're saying like
like, your girl, she knew what she was doing. She was rocking them goods. It's like you couldn't help but look at them.
Yeah, I mean,
especially with the camera right there.
Yeah, I know. It's like, hello. It's like when you do. Okay, you're Mr. Producer, right? You know the angle.
Like, I'm saying, like that's the thing.
Every hot chick, they look at a girl's ass in like every movie.
Well, it's like hear me out. I guess this is where I'm coming from. There's been times where like I looked at my wife. I'm like, hey, what are you wearing that for? I'm thinking like, and she's like, they stick out anyways. And I'm like, yeah, it's true. There's really nothing you can do about it. Like, and so that's where I guess I'm coming at it. It's like, like I think what it is like, when you're married to somebody with some big ass titties, like you just see things from a different view. Like, like you see the struggle of them trying to find clothes that could actually be decent, that don't fall off them either. But
I can see like the shape and like everything. I was like,
yeah.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, Glenn, here's the difference. If she wore like a looser shirt, that's like if you have a trophy kind of in the cabinet with no display case, and then you have a trophy in a display case. That's essentially the difference. Is that being so tight fitting?
Okay,
it was full display. I mean, you could tell which one was bigger than the other. You could tell everything. If it was a little. If it was a little looser, yeah, she has.
I think you've analyzed this a little too closely.
I think Josh, you have like way more details than we need right now. But hold on, I'm gonna get the Rusty super chat here. Rusty super chat said, "I grew up with the swim team. It's I think not about how they dress, it's about how they're about internal self-control of the men and women. They are distracted by the carnal and missing the spiritual." Who's distracted by the carnal? Was there what spiritual was going on? The cake is spiritual? I'm confused. Rusty also says, I have been at the beach church and the ladies win in bikinis. No big deal. Oh yeah, like I think when it comes to like bathing suits and stuff, obviously most women, whether they're Christian or not, are gonna be in bikinis, like a two-piece. Are there gonna be some that are gonna be in one pieces? Yes, there are. But I've seen one pieces just as revealing and just as like like provocative as the ones in like the two pieces. I've seen two pieces that covered up more than the one pieces. They got these one pieces that like a thong in the front and a thong in the back, and it's just like
the bikini swimsuit was designed in the first place to be what you call it? What's the word for not acceptable? To push boundaries. To push,
inappropriate?
Yeah, to be inappropriate to begin with. To push boundaries.
And then Rusty Field says again, church women are just jealous of the sexy ones. I didn't want to go there. But now that he brought that up, let's talk about that. The fact that, men besides Josh, Patriot, damn it.
Is innocent Glenn gonna really start?
The only man that has admitted so far that he has said something is Smoking Patriot. Is this really a problem that men need to like present or speak up on? Because apparently, like with the trad wives movement, like basically these girls got the idea from all the Fresh and Fit episodes where we're calling these girls hoes for the way they're dressed and the way they're acting.
They're still finding an audience.
So do we need to do that too?
See, I'm gonna quote something I heard
because hold on, let me finish. Is it because because if you're the only man that actually spoke up and said something, or one of the few men that spoke up and said something, and not all the other men had an issue with it? I know Andrew had an issue with it. He ended up speaking out about it. But like if we're not getting enough men talking about this or complaining about it, is it ever going to get fixed? Because if they're doing it for our attention to begin with, if we're not telling them that we don't like it or we don't think it's appropriate, then they're going to keep on doing it, right? So is it our fault, or is it because it's really this just women that are insecure fault because they don't want their husbands looking at it?
Like women have been this way since sin is out. Okay, I'm a pastor or a former pastor, so women have been this way since like sin has entered into the world, trying to find ways to gather attention, to display their gifts, whether under godliness or tradness or just being hoes.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Like, is like because like again, if guys are not complaining about it, if
we don't have a godly society, I don't think you'd really expect.
But I'm talking about I'm talking about the Christian men. If the Christian men are not complaining about it as much as these Christian women are complaining about it, then is it really a problem? Do we really see it as a problem? Or do we only see it as a problem because we're trying to virtue signal to either our wives or the women in our lives that we like? Is that what we're doing, or do we really have?
I'm sure some guys are white knighting enough. They'll try. They're so thirsty for anything. They'll say, "Hey, maybe this."
Oh, that was primarily Isabella's defenders. Were men. It wasn't. It was. I'd say probably 2/3 of her defenders were men. It wasn't.
Yeah, I would think obviously that's going to be an obvious analysis there. Nobody wants, like, none of the guys that are watching her are going to want her to cover those up, right? What I'm saying is, like, is it a problem that not enough men were complaining about it? Is that what the problem is? So the question is, and is all these Christian men that actually saw these pictures that didn't say anything, are they the real problem here?
The real problem is we gave women the authority to do this in the first place.
Well, I agree with you. So but what I'm saying is, like, if men are not speaking out about it,
I don't have enough F's to give each day.
Yeah. I'm with
like,
Nick. Enjoy the decline.
But you see what I'm saying is, like, if now guys are coming out and talking about it and saying like it was wrong and stuff, but they waited till after the women started doing it. Are we really just letting the women lead us in this situation? Why didn't we lead? If Christian men really had a problem with it, why didn't they step up first and say something?
Yeah, well, and Glenn, go to your point about the whole OF girls, modesty and everything. I remember an interview that Sartain did with a chick, and she said that the girls who were the dirtiest and naughtiest were the ones who were not dressed like skanks. She said all the skank girls wouldn't get a guy to go home with them that night, but all the modest girls, she's like, if you see a modest girl, so just because they're modest doesn't mean anything.
You know, let me tell you, the church is filled with more hoes than ladies' night on Thursday. Okay.
Hey, but at least the ladies' night, it's like, hey man, they just
on ladies' night, you know what you're gonna get. You don't expect that at church. Okay. I'm sorry, but like, let's just face it. It is what it is. At least they like to pray, you know. And that's a good step in the right direction. But like, honestly, all I'm asking is like, look, if Christian men really had a problem with this, why didn't they speak up first? One, because I mean, isn't that mean like they're letting someone else lead, letting a woman lead them down that path? Like, oh, okay, yes, the woman made it.
So that's like nowhere near the worst picture we see every day.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, that's
like, I have enough F's to
that's
give.
what I was wondering. Like, is this what we want to like? Is this what we're doing?
Hey, but hey, if somebody's wife's getting jealous, like, hey, put up.
No, I mean, no, like I would get that too, like, you know, but that's a different, you know, like that's a different thing. Like if your wife comes at them, you know, like, and you agree with what, you know, what she's saying, well, yeah, you should back your wife up. I get that, you know, but
why isn't she dressing like that? Why isn't she doing no cooking like that at home?
That's the other thing, though, right? Like, but that's
I mean, it's a thirst trap for a reason. It's a reason why it's successful.
Well, it's like that article that I found with that lady complaining that her husband's divorcing her because of the trad wife on TikTok, right? Because he got tired of her burnt food and her being out of shape. You know, he divorced her because he wants to get a trad wife now. And like I was saying in one of my other videos, like, hey, is the issue really these trad wives? Because you got like Allie Beth Stuckey, right? Stuckey. It's saying like these women are not, or these trad movements are not even real Christian. Like she's like trying to label them, all this stuff. It's like she's like she's really trying to like discredit this movement. And I'm wondering, like, okay, is it that these women are really not Christian and they're really not submissive and all this other stuff? Or is it that you need to discredit them and attack them because they are doing a better job at being, you know, submissive and you know, pleasant than you?
Yep, that's it.
And if that's the case, then are you just mad that they are setting the bar a lot higher than what you've had it set at, and now you don't want to have to step up and actually put in the work to reach the bar?
Yep. Well, and the funny thing is, Glenn, is that my girlfriend, I told her, her and I have had several kind of like sit downs, and I told her, I said, all right, I'm going to tell you what dresses you can wear in private and what dresses you can wear in public. And
I mean, I think every husband or boyfriend or every man has that, like, you know, has that position. Like Coco doesn't wear anything without my approval.
Right. No, but she wanted to know where the limit was for me personally, because she could think, oh, this is fine. But I could say, no, that's private. That's not public. So
yeah,
she wanted to make sure that it was okay. So we went through bathing suits, we went through dresses, and we went through, and I basically said public, private, public, private, public. Yeah. So she knows what styles, cuts, everything are good for public, and that's bathing suit and dresses, and what is strictly for private. Absolutely. She knows all this now.
That's how I ran it.
You know what the church people would say? Her band of women in the church would say that you're a control freak.
Yeah, I'm a dictator. Well,
funny thing is, she's having a hard time finding a good church too. So her and I are both in the same boat.
But like, here's the thing, though, right?
That's like, hey, the church wants these like chase women, but hey, they're.
Oh, okay. I see what you know what Rusty's saying. So when he said that you know, the church, it's when he's talking about the super chat, like when he's talking about they're distracted by the carnal and missing the spiritual. He said they're distracted by the clothing and missing the heart. I get what you're saying. Like, you know, like the heart of the message. Like, was she doing this intentionally for, you know, sex, or could it be like she really just making this dumb cake and you know, she didn't realize what she's wearing? Like, who knows? You know, we always tend to just jump to the assumption. We kind of got to be careful that, you know, I think overall it's like we can acknowledge what's going on, and maybe I guess wait till things kind of start adding up, and then it's like, you know, then deal with it, you know. Coco says, but Rusty says it is virtual signaling. I agree. He said they used to complain if a woman wore a skirt that showed her knees. Yeah, like that. If they showed the ankles too, remember, McMahon back in the day, if you showed them ankles, ooh, whoo, I'm starting getting hot under the collar if that's all them ankles. But it seems like we've gone a long way. We have traveled a far long way from ankles. You know, now we see outside.
I think most women know the standard is you don't want to give off any messaging that says I'm available. Like that should be common sense. What women should be common.
What women? What women should do this? Like, because that's confusing. Like
the caveat being they actually want to be with their guy. They're not with some chump.
So you're only talking about guys, women in relationships. I get you 100%. I got you on that. Yeah, don't do that. But what if you're not in a relationship?
Yeah, I don't know.
Now, do they have to uphold the wifely clothing that the wives have to wear, even though they're not a wife? Because if
I think it should be close to that.
Well, I'm just saying, because if they're having to wear clothing that you know, I guess you say like doesn't signal that they're available, then how are they going to get picked up? Because if the guys think that they're not available because like they're wearing the standard issue wife clothes that, you know, the standard issue says that's not available, then how would, do you see what I'm saying? Like, I think there's a little bit, like we got to have a little bit more like clarity here. I'm saying, like, you know, don't look like a slut. Okay. Don't look like a hoe, you know, don't walk around
for you.
Yeah. Like don't walk out with your titties out, you know. Try to contain them, try to cover them, you know, like do what you need to do your due diligence so you're not causing any stumbling.
Don't walk around in your little thin little, what are those things? The
leggings.
Oh man,
like that's
like I know everything. Like I know everything. I know every curve.
Look, you right there. We're complaining about a girl in a t-shirt, but nobody talking about them hoes that wear leggings to church. Like
all the time, man.
All the time.
Not just church, like pastors' wives, and
they were the scrunchy butt ones too.
Pastors' daughters,
see the butt crack and everything.
Oh yeah,
and the butts all lifted.
They're working out or something
at church.
I mean, to be fair, Glenn, I didn't cook completely about like all the stuff that women should be wearing. So in my defense, I could have cooked for a bit on that one.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm not, but what I'm saying, like, we're getting mad over a t-shirt. Like, we're talking about a t-shirt, but we got like Christian women wearing leggings that insinuate their butt, and sometimes, depending on the leggings, they might end up giving them a camel toe, and they're in church, and we ain't worried about that, but we're worried about a t-shirt baking a cake.
Yeah, I mean,
come on, like I'm just asking, like, is this really, you know?
It's not a big deal. It's really not a big deal.
That's what I'm asking. Is this really
That's what I'm saying. You only got enough F's to give each day.
Yeah.
You know, like shouldn't we be like more concerned about like women like
saving the West?
Like Allie Beth Stuckey, like thinks that she's like, you know, she could preach. You know, she's skilled enough to preach just like any better, or she can preach better than any pastor that's on a pulpit on Sunday. But you know, she doesn't because she's not called to. Like, don't you think that's more of a bigger issue?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you're looking for a wife, look for a wife who dresses like, I heard somebody define it like this: you want a wife that dresses for a long time, not a good time.
Yeah, no, like it's like, but
You know.
again, I think like when you're dressing, it's like we already know that like this whole dress, the women's clothing thing, this has been done. This has been an argument and issue since the Bible times. I mean, Paul had to talk about it. Like he's like, look, hoes, stop wearing all the tinkling bells on your feet. Isaiah. Yeah, stop wearing all the tinkling bells on your feet and dressing like a slut. You know, and then Paul's like, look, hoes, when you come in here, you put that covering on your head. All right, stop drawing attention to yourself. All right, and stop wearing all that gold and braided hair. You're drawing attention. You're bringing a distraction. This is the Lord's house. This is not the whorehouse. Okay, like so, like we know this has been a biblical thing. We know this has been a constant issue, right? They didn't get it right back then, and I guarantee you, the women that wear clothes today trying to go to church back, they would be shunned too. Like it's, I'm just wondering, like, why are we wasting time on this? Like, now I think honestly, I think Rolo did it as a joke. I think it was completely a joke to him. Like I don't think he really meant anything about it. Like, I don't think he knew her enough to actually really give a damn about it. Now, I do know that she released that email that said that he reached out to her about coming on Access Vegas, you know, and having her on there, like, you know, to be one of the panelists there. But besides that doesn't really say he knows her. That just says like he probably saw her on whatever podcast with Ruslan and Lila Rose and was like, she might be an interesting person to bring on, like a different opinion. You know, it might be give some good conversation. So I'm just saying, I don't think he really meant anything by it, and then she just took it way left.
To be fair, I don't remember Isabella even from whatever. I mean, I've seen enough whatever episodes.
I know, like
her on
I had to look her up, and I guess when I saw her, I saw a picture of her and Ruslan and Lila Rose on whatever against the guy that likes to watch his girl get banged out, Adam 22.
Oh, the first time. Yeah, because he was on twice. He was on.
So twice. It's like but I don't even think she said anything because I tried to I didn't catch anything she said. I thought it was just more of a Lila Rose and Ruslan show. But
Lila likes to talk a lot.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you know, like I think he just saw her and like was like trying to reach out to her to get her to come on the show. So I don't think he really knew her or even had a beef with her, like to make this whole thing serious as it came out to be. Now, I get the guys' argument when it comes to like women, conservative Christian women in general, should not be
thirst trapping.
Well, it's like it's not even just thirst trapping. If we're supposed to be set apart, right?
Right. Yeah.
We're supposed to be different. We're supposed to even look different, right? We're supposed to carry ourselves different. We're not supposed to be of this world. Right. Okay? We're not of this world, right? We're of a different world.
Okay,
right? So my question is,
who watched the South Park episode Cream Frieche?
No.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm too old. I didn't watch South Park.
He's a good Christian. He doesn't watch South Park.
Yeah, I'm a senior citizen over here.
My dad raised me on that.
That's a great episode.
We got the former pastor watching South Park. We're all going to hell.
A lot. No, I'm kidding. Can you educate the boomer?
If I recall right, there's this episode where like was it Stan's dad was like having like some like sexual response to like the Food Network channel, like
like cooking shows.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, it was like he has something like a pornography like pornographic like
I seen like okay. Hold on. Let me show you guys something. I got something to show you guys, because if we're gonna talk about like the cooking shows and stuff like that, right? And like that's what you're saying that they were trying to make it like to be.
Well, that's what I'm like. In the back of I was like, oh, that's just a.
Can y'all explain? Like, wait a minute. This shit to me, please.
The hell?
That's weird.
Oh, I didn't even do it right. Like, hold on. This is not even the beginning. You got to see this.
I don't even know what the.
You guys got to see this ridiculousness from the beginning.
You
Oh,
know
there you go.
what
Look at the way he's doing it. He's just
okay. I'm not
Is
gonna
that
lie.
bad
That's a
Zelensky
first.
and the banana or something? Or
That's a first. I've never
like
seen one like that.
so. Are we gonna start doing this? Are we gonna start going after this guy? Like, is that what we're doing?
No, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. What we
But hold on. Why don't we bring in the same energy, Yale? Well, where's the same energy? We want to tell her to put
because we want to hold those women accountable, Glenn. That's
and I'm not gonna lie.
that just looks weird, man.
I'm just saying that that dude was sexing his food. He was sexing it up.
Look, some of these girls are just better at than men, and like you don't fit those roles.
Yeah.
I'm not gay, so I can't relate.
Let me get back in the chat here. We got Coco saying it's not controlling, especially when the woman is the one going to her man to ask if so that she knows she is showing through those actions. She respects her respect for boundaries. Yes, absolutely. Shutai with a $10 super chat. Thank you, bro. Big things in 2024. Keep doing you, brother Glenn. I appreciate that. We got Kate J. I like Allie, but I don't think she knows the full extent of the damage that feminism did. You're damn right she doesn't. She thinks the red pills exclusively blames feminism without calling out men who didn't stop it, which is unfair. Yeah, let's be real. Like, if you watch that video, and I snipped it, okay, so because her original one's like an hour long, and like for the first what Nick, like 30 minutes, she's just going off on the red pill, Tradcons, and everybody else, and just feminism, and submission. Like, she just was going off on all this stuff.
Just loving the church. Loving the church.
Yeah. And I like how she was stumbling in that scripture, right? On Ephesians 5. She's like, she knew that part. Man, you gotta love your wives like Christ loved the church. And what do we gotta do? Wives, we have to man.
Glenn, that video, that premiere made it hard for me to eat lunch, man. I was coughing on buffalo chicken wrap today during lunch watching that video.
So it's like, I get what you're saying. I don't think she's not like she doesn't know the full extent. She doesn't want to know. She sounds very feminist. Okay.
She is very feminist.
She sounds very feminist because, I mean, just listen to how many times she had a problem with the word submission. Like, if you were a Christian, if you're a Christian woman, all right, and you're a Bible believing woman, you should want men to look for women that have traits like submissive traits, because that means they're looking for more than just their physical body. They're just looking more than the external. If guys are wanting women that are
boomer moment.
No, Glenn pressing buttons again.
Boomer moment.
He's pressing them buttons again.
No, enough of that. I'm just saying, like, ladies, if you want guys, like, you should want guys that have like more like requirements for women other than just looking pretty. Right? You should, ladies, if you have kids, if you have boys, you should want your sons to value submissive behavior in a woman, because you know what? That means if she doesn't, then your son's going to get with a clamorous, quarrelsome woman, right? That you're going to have to deal with on Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So, like, my thing is, like, she had such an issue with something that's in the Bible that she said she had an issue with it. I'm just like, what are you talking about? You say you want biblical marriage, that you uphold biblical marriage, but you have an issue when guys are looking for qualities that would help them have a biblical marriage. So, like, I think she just doesn't. It's like virtue saying, I am a Christian, I believe in God, blah blah blah. But it's like, you know what? Wait a minute, I don't believe all this stuff though. Or it's like the egalitarians. I don't think that's what it means. No, it doesn't mean submissive. Doesn't mean this. It means mutually. Let's just go there. It means mutually, even though it doesn't say that. So I get what you're saying, but she is unfair because I don't think she even knows enough about the red pill, period, because she starts lumping up everybody in the red pill. Like, it's like those Tradcons and the red pill guy, but you can't really really tell the difference between the two. So
she acts like the red pill has nothing to say about masculinity.
Yeah. I'm like, what are we talking about? Like, you know, and then she said the biblical patriarchists, right? Only talk about masculinity, but they only talk about women's submissiveness. And what are women doing? I'm like, that's part of it. You have to understand, like, yeah, we could talk about all the other things and the masculine traits. That's great. But we also talk about what roles he has and what he has to do as a husband under this covenant. So that's my opinion there.
It reminded me of being like in a marital argument where, like, no matter what you say, like, but this, but that, but this, but that, and there's little to no logic or argument to it. It's blame, 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 make everything look bad.
Yeah, she goes, KJ says, I wonder if, as a cultural conservative commentator, wife and mother of two, she doesn't want to admit the hard truth that she probably shouldn't be working full time to begin with. You know what? I got in
trouble for saying that.
Man, you know what? I'm glad you said it, because that was one of the things I said in my video. I'm like, well, the reason why she's attacking these trad wives so much is because they're a contrast to her. Like the trad wives make Allie look like a feminist.
They actually love their kids. They're actually staying home with them.
Like a boss babe. You know, it definitely makes Allie look like a boss babe.
Yeah.
And like, here's the thing when it comes to the trad wives, right? Again, it changes the status quo. Before, guys didn't think they could get anything this submissive. They thought like the standard the standard level of the wife was the Tradcon wife that we had. That was Tradcon 1.0. And they thought that was the only model that we had. We either had that or we had feminist. They had blue hair or purple hair and a shaved head, and they look like a dude. So they only thought they had those two options. Now they realize
bro's dream.
Yeah. Now they realize that they have a third option. Like, wait a minute, we have a third option now? Guys are like, wait, we like this third option. These Tradcons don't like that. They don't like men having another third option, because now these Tradcons are not their number one option.
Yep.
Well, that's what passport bros want, right? It's just like,
well, I mean, passport. You gotta figure out the reason why a lot of guys are passport bros is because they couldn't even get a girl to get in a relationship with them to begin with.
Right. They want to trad. They want that.
Well, yeah, they did, but they first have to attract the trad and to begin with. A lot of these passport bros don't even have the looks to even attract attention.
It is a large part of just coping.
Yeah, passport bros is more about cope than hope. Okay. They're more about like, look, let me just go over there and get me a ling and try to make this work out. And like, no, it's more about cope than it actually is. Like, now, don't get me wrong, there are guys that are of good value, good looks, that could probably get with the woman out here if they wanted to, but they choose not to because they don't like the culture and they don't like the women in our culture. So yeah, those guys they're different. It's not that they're not running away because they can't get a girl here. They're running away because they don't like the girls here. And that's not all the passport bros. Let's be real.
Yeah. The passport bros is kind of a mixed it's kind of a mixed group.
Well, it's not, I don't even think I think if you really like break it down, if you try to like break down the percentages, I don't think even half of these passport bros are guys that are of value, that could get women here, and that just choose not to. I don't think that's the number. I really think it's more along the lines like they're living in their mom's basement. They got early balding, and they got a cul-de-sac haircut, and they are 45 pounds overweight, and they play with like Power Rangers. Like, what I'm saying? I think those are the guys.
How dare you, sir?
How dare you?
Hey,
how dare you?
Just saying. I think those are the guys.
Cancel Glenn.
Yeah. Time to cancel Glenn.
A 5-year-old likes Power Rangers.
I used to like Power Rangers. I wrote a letter to Tommy the Green Ranger when I was like 5 years old.
Is that after you were touched by Bill Clinton?
No, this is before I met the president. Thank you. Jesus.
Glenn,
Anthony Johnson.
I have Power Ranger figures in my office at work. Okay, they sit on my desk.
You have a girlfriend? No, just kidding.
Actually, yes.
Dude, that's the thing. I know he has a girlfriend. I'm like, I can't even use that against him. Like, for how long?
And by the way,
No,
she sent me one of them.
Respect.
So like, let's just talk. Let's just wrap this up here. We're gonna wrap this up here in a minute. Moral story: should conservative women dress conservatively? I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know, because unless you are a Christian conservative, I don't think you should. How could you hold someone that doesn't have the same values or faith as you do to the same standard that you hold? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like if they're just a conservative, if they're a physical conservative, if they're a constitution conservative, if they're, you know, whatever, like social conservative, can you hold them to the same, you know, dress code as you do a Christian conservative?
No.
So,
and this isn't the hill we die on.
That's what I'm getting at. It's like, I'm just trying to figure this out. Like, you know, I'm not saying that like the correction may not be needed. I'm not saying that at all. I'm wondering, like, if blowing this out to make it seem like it more than it is necessary. Now, I think she definitely blew it out of proportion. Let's just get that straight. I think this wouldn't have gone as far as it went if she didn't blow things out of proportion. Like, what she did was like, she just showed how immature she is. She did act like a 23-year-old little girl. Okay, like she acted like somebody that hasn't been around this world long enough to do something like that. Like, you know, it's like, you know, the kid that just goes nuclear. It's like she went postal. You know, like she went Columbine on Twitter. You know, it's like
too soon.
You know what I mean? Is that too soon? But like, that's what I think. Now, do I think anybody, like, we should have corrected or anybody should correct her? I mean, to each their own, but I'm just saying, like, if you really want her to, if you really were expecting the change to happen, no, that's not going to happen if you don't really know her. Of course, you're going to get met with like, who the fuck are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if somebody tried to do that to me and I didn't know you, I'd be like, who the fuck are you? Go away. You know, like, I don't care if you're right. I'm still telling you to go away.
Well, the funny thing is, Glenn, is this whole thing is this all literally started just because Rachel responded with one tweet, and then Isabella lost her shit on Rachel, and then defenders of Rachel were like, "Wait, what the hell is going on?" So essentially, like, and then Rollo Tomassi. So it's kind of like how Gettysburg started. Gettysburg started as a little skirmish, and it ended up becoming one of the biggest battles in the Civil War. Because of a little skirmish, you have the Battle of Gettysburg now. It's the same thing. This tiny little skirmish between two people blew up into this.
I mean, I'm just wondering if our real enemy here, right, is feminism and the gynocentric social order, right? Shouldn't we be trying to like all get along? Shouldn't we be trying to like not have as many enemies?
What we should be going after is comments like Lila Rose, where she said her husband gives her unconditional love. I had to do a double take. I was like,
yeah.
Are you serious? And that was the biggest kicker. That was a conversation with Nick Freitas, whatever he's some Tradcon.
You know, like me and Russo talked about that unconditional love. Like we both kind of like agree on the same thing. Like it's the type of love that we wish to aspire to try to, you know, give. But I don't think none of us could ever give unconditional love. Like we're humans. Right. Look at everybody that got divorced. They obviously don't have unconditional love, right? They obviously suck, so we all fail at it, right? Like everybody that, you know, broke up over something, you don't have unconditional love apparently. So it's like, oh, is it only unconditional love when there's nothing warranting a breakup? Because then that's the caveat that's not in the Bible. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
my point was just that's comments and dumb ideas like that. That's what we should be going after, especially because that's just covert feminism. It's really
like it's just like basically unconditional love. Like, but only you have to give it. Women don't have to give it to you. No, their love comes on condition, and you best believe it.
Right.
You know? Like
yours,
yours,
don't you know?
yours better come on. Yours better be unconditional, but hers, no. It comes with a condition, and you sign that contract, so you already know what those conditions are. It's like,
right.
Come on, get out of here.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I agree with you. Lila Rose needs to stop with that.
Oh, she's gotten roasted. Timothy Gordon. I don't know if you know who Timothy Gordon is. He does rules for retrogrades, like on the Catholic side.
I did a stream with Tim and Pearl.
Yeah, I read his book.
He sent me his books. I got his books.
Yeah. He's done 1 or 2 streams roasting Lila. There was another one I saw roasting Lila because she portrays herself as this, very traditional Catholic who follows the teachings of the church. And Tim and his wife are basically like, then you should be home with your children, not parading around the country doing speeches and podcasts.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the same thing. That's the same thing. Like with the complementarians and the egalitarians, they all think the same thing.
Yep.
Like that's. I mean, like I don't. I personally, I don't necessarily have a problem if a woman is, wanting to do something that also brings in revenue, as long as it doesn't take away from her duties at home. Like her first job and her first priority. And this is one thing that Allie said that like kind of like rubbed me the wrong way was like. Basically, she was saying like she didn't like the idea of just being defined as just a mother. She had other aspirations outside of just motherhood. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I get that. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, but like your other aspirations, you should not pawn off your kids to a babysitter or
For real mothers, you mean?
Yeah, you should be real mothers. Like. But I mean, I don't know her situation. I'm just assuming that, but I'm just saying, like, obviously her kids are not with her on set while she's filming. So somebody's watching them kids.
I think a lot of women treat children like little fur babies.
Well, I mean, like they give them treats and they take them on walks. Yeah, I can see that.
Like, but I don't think they really want children. Otherwise, they'd want to stay home and watch them. In fact, I preached a few sermons when I was a pastor on that, and man. A lot of the ladies and some of the elders came at me. They were upset. You think my daughter's in sin for working and not taking?
Well, it's almost like if you don't need to work, right? It's like if you don't need to.
That's what I said.
If your husband provides more than enough, then why are you working? Because it
goes back to what Cappy says. They don't love their kids that much.
Right.
Well,
that's really what it is.
Fur babies.
It almost goes back to what what Ryan says. They're just F trophies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Basically, I mean, and the funny thing is, there was a scene on the show Parks and Rec. I was just scrolling through my YouTube, and there was this like all these cuts of every time Ron Swanson dissed on government. And in one scene, literally, when the park closes down, you hear all the women screaming, wait, I actually have to spend time with my kids. I can't just drop them off at the playground and leave them there for a couple of hours while I go shopping. Like all the women are like, I don't want to be around my kids. I don't want to watch my kids. And I'm thinking, oh my God, that's reality. That's reality. And this is a TV show.
Hey, what's going on, Siege? I see you in there. Like when I was married and I had my son with me, I am married, but I don't have my son with me right now. That's what I'm saying. Like, my previous marriage, like I owned a barbershop. I owned several barbershops, and I was also a personal trainer. Like I worked for myself. I was my own businessman. My son went everywhere with me. When he was in preschool, I would drop him off at the school, pick him up, take him to the shop. He would sweep. He would do things with me. We would do like it was he was always with me. Not my ex. He was with me all the time. I loved it. I loved it. I mean, I have pictures of me going to the gym. He's sitting there watching me work out. Or as he got older, he was working out with me. Like I took him everywhere I went. Like that was my mini me. I was training him up to be like a man. I wasn't gonna let something else teach him what a man is. I wasn't gonna let him let the TV shows that he was watching determine what a man is. I wanted to have more influence in his life than anything else, right? And until the divorce, that just ruined shit. But it's like, but that's what I was. I didn't have an issue with being around my son, so when you say mothers don't want to be around their kids, I'm just like, what the hell's wrong with y'all? Like,
how dare you try to be a good father, Glenn? How dare you?
I mean, is that really the sentiment? Like, women just don't want to be around their kids?
They
Oh,
yeah.
They
want the comfort. They want the comfort. They want the money. They want the attention where they can bond with all the other mothers with kids.
Oh, so it's like you're not.
They see their friends popping them out. Well, I gotta have one too to fit in and be in the social group.
I see what you're saying. It's like an entry code to get into the club, right? Like you have to meet the criteria.
It's a status symbol.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a status symbol.
Okay.
It's like I'm a mother now. I'm a mother. It's like okay. So
have you seen some of these mothers, like the way that they dress their kids, man? Like I've seen like these, like I saw some Instagram reel, right? Like these mothers are dressing their kids like little gangsters. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
I might have seen that same one.
I'm like, your kid's gonna get shot if he go plays outside of the park.
It's like Malibu's Most Wanted, right?
Worse, but okay, I'm gonna end with this. Like, I think this whole thing is ridiculous. I don't think Rollo meant anything serious by it. I think he just made the comment just to make the comment. Like, like, I think it was kind of like a off the cuff, like just a throwaway comment. It was something that's pointing out what he was pointing out. Like, it's true. Women always go back to, like, they sell sex. That's the only thing that they sell. Women only sell sex. They don't create anything. They sell sex. Nick, wasn't it the Quakers that were getting bucky naked female preachers?
The Anabaptists and Quakers both did, yeah.
Anabaptists and Quakers, female pastors were getting bucky naked preaching
a message from the Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to the wrong church.
It's like, well, they're heretics.
Seriously.
Yeah, they are heretics, and they are what made the evangelicals today. So, but what I'm getting at is, like, so, like, women, we've known women to do this since the beginning of time. They always go to sex, and I think all Rollo was pointing out was just that, like, hey, women will sell sexiness. That's what they go. That's their default go-to, instinct. It's just that's what how they're wired. He's pointing it out. I didn't see that as a bad thing, even if though I didn't necessarily see the sexiness as much as he was seeing it. I don't think what he said was a bad thing. What you were pointing out, Bill, what you were pointing out earlier, like, I get what you're saying. Like, it does come off as like a double standard, like to be chummy with like an OnlyFans model or whatever, but then, make a comment on somebody that doesn't have an OnlyFans or anything like that. But from what I hear like, like she had some like alleged video that she like sent somebody that like was like inappropriate or something like that. I don't know. I saw that on Twitter too, and I didn't read much into it. I was just like, oh, okay. So who knows? We don't know this girl's. We really don't know what this girl's like background is. We just know what she's trying to portray, right? Until she gets exposed. So it's just like, I get it. I get, like, yes. Overall, I think if you're a Christian conservative, yeah, you should dress modestly. You should do what the Bible says. Dress modestly. If you're not, how can we hold those that are not Christians, or that, to the standards that Christians should be held to?
Take over.
Well, that's when we needed a Christian nation.
Deus Volt, or whatever it is, right?
Yes.
Deus Volt.
So, it just comes to, like, and anything. And one other thing I'll add to that is, like, if we really want these women to change, then the correction needs to come from men.
Yep.
We got to lead. We talk about it. We got to lead. We got to, biblical patriarchy is all about leading in the home, the church, and in the civil magistrate, and in society. So that it's like, why are we not responding until women are responding?
Individually, like, too.
Yeah.
Individually, you have to be the leader. You
yeah.
can't. There's no, like, this whole save the West thing. We're going to change the church from the inside out. No. Before Jordan Peterson got all tweaky, he had a point. Start with yourself first.
Yep. So. And again, like I think we need to realize, like, we can't always equate things to something as foul as, like, hoeing it out on OnlyFans. A t-shirt doesn't necessarily equate to getting your butthole ran out. you know, on OnlyFans, right? Like there's levels to this stuff, right? You know,
Yeah.
But let me go in the chat real quick and just wrap it up here in the chat. Let's see. We got Coco saying, I wonder if women who can easily have children don't value motherhood like it used to be. And women who have a hard time having kids truly appreciate the blessing. Yeah, I mean, I think all women like get this like natural instinct that they want to have kids at some point in their life. And a lot of these women, they actually wait too long. They've been lied to. You know, women have been lied to, unfortunately. So, Rusty Fuel, they had hairy tits. Who had hairy tits? I don't want to know.
Anabaptist?
Oh, did
I wouldn't know.
Maybe.
Good Lord.
There. That Afro nipples.
I'll have to do some field study for you guys.
You do that. You do that. You know, thank you for your sacrifice. We got CHD Pillow Talk with Coco. Oh, Mrs. Producer, you're finally on one with Glenn Stream. Yeah, she's been busy. Siege, taking a break, focusing on, there she goes. She talked about it. We got Vlad in the building. Oh, Nick is on. What? And he's welding. You know, Vlad is always welding, building something like this. This man never watches me like and pays attention. He doesn't give me his undivided attention at all. Like I'm background noise
stuff
for him.
to do.
Yeah, he's building something always.
He's an alpha male.
He is, and he has his kids full time. He's another dad that has his kids full time.
The dad you never had.
Well, I mean, I have a dad, so you know.
Oh no! Oh, sorry, that was just Aaron Clary's book. That's right.
I mean, that's a dad that you may never had.
Oh no, absolutely not.
I know my father. And we got Vlad here, 60% not full time. Okay.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. Oh, you have more time than your wife does, so your ex-wife does. So there you go. So yeah, you guys, like, I mean, moral of the story. Just if we need to say something, then we need to say something. We need to lead. We can't start having like what we end up doing is start doing like picking and choosing. Like, oh, we're not going to talk about these women over here, but we're going to call out this one. No, we either call them all out or just shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Like that's just what it is. Just either all or nothing.
Focus our time on better.
We have better battles to fight. Seriously.
Yeah.
Better battle.
You either stand against degeneracy as a whole or you don't. It's not a sliding scale. It's black and white. It ain't no gray.
Yeah, that's what I was asking earlier. Or do we have gray here? Is there no gray? Is there no nuance? Okay, then if we're not going to have that, then we should do this through all women. You know, and then once we move past the clothing, we should start going towards the attitude. You know, like I'm wondering, you get the attitude, you could fix the clothing. You know that, right? You guys are doing it backwards.
I'm fully well aware of that.
I'm just saying. But you guys want to say any last words? Anybody?
Thanks for having me on.
I'll say something.
Bill, you're always welcome to come on, even though you try to say you touched me. I don't like it.
Thank you for your service.
Not every sin is as heinous in the sight of God as others. Also, like we're not responsible. Like each individual is not responsible for some other lady across the other side of the ocean. She's not even in America, I'm guessing. So
who?
That lady, I don't even know if she's even in America. But the whole point is,
you're talking about the boobies.
Yeah, I don't even.
No, she's in America.
Okay, well, like people need to pay attention to their own house, their own circles.
Yep.
I don't know these people. Like, what does it matter to me unless they start really like impacting me? Then I really don't care like too much. Like, I don't have enough energy to focus on that. I don't have enough time to love every single person in this planet. But I can do is love those that God has put in my life and take care of those that God has put in my life and close to me, like my friends, my family, those who I work with, you know, where I live. I don't have time for everything. So.
Yeah, you know,
Preach.
It's funny. It's like the other night me and Nick were doing a stream. Like we did a pre-record, right? I got a little animated. I said something out of line I shouldn't have said, right? And he texted me afterwards and he called me out on it. And I appreciated it. I was like, dude, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. You know, like, but you know what? If I didn't have that relationship with him, if I wasn't like, we weren't tight, we weren't doing the streams and working with each other like we are, I'd have told him to go fuck off. Even though he was right. So, but the reason why the correction was able to be there, because there's a relationship there. You know, there's something there that I know, like this guy's not just saying this shit to just come at me. He's actually saying this for my best interest. There's a trust level there.
It's almost like he should be a pastor.
Well, you know, he was, and unfortunately, some turn of events happened, and you know, anyways,
whamming.
But like, so when I think about correction, we could criticize people, and that's fine. People do that anyways. But if we truly want correction, the correction needs to come from people that actually have a relationship with these people. You know, or all you're doing is you may cause more an offense than you are gonna do correcting. If you really want the change to happen, that's just my opinion.
They're not going to take you seriously otherwise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'll tell you guys what you guys can look out for. Oh, dang it. Almost knocked out over my mic. There's going to be a new video coming out. Let me tell you guys when. Rather soon here. It won't be tonight. I think tomorrow, January 5th, Nick is going to, I did a stream with Nick, and he's going to be talking about, from his pastoral experience, he's going to explain why men have left the church. Okay. That's a real good one because, again, I have shared it from my perspective, but like I said, I was just a youth pastor, but Nick was a head pastor, the pastor.
I was just a pastor in a small country church, so I just had to do everything. So
he was the only pastor. And he experienced it from a lot more than I did, and he has more insight than I do on that matter. So I think that's going to be a great conversation. You guys definitely want to check that out tomorrow. I don't know what time it is exactly at, but it's for tomorrow, that's for sure. And if you haven't watched it yet, go check out the stream that Nick and I did. Or again, actually, we filmed it. We filmed these both at the same day, and
at the same
time. We just went from one to the other. But you know, it's like blaming the red pill as a cope. And we're really just reviewing Allie Beth Stuckey video that she made about the red pill and all that stuff. So definitely check that out. It's already out now. Make sure you guys like it, hit the notification, all that other good stuff. But yeah, other than that, guys, I have nothing else for you. Thank you for tuning in, all of you that did. Thank you guys for jumping on the stream with me. You guys made it last a whole lot longer than I planned on it, but you know what? That's good to make some good content. I'll probably get some clips out of this and, you know, just make fun of all of you. Yeah.
Do it.
Bring it on.
No balls. No balls you won't.
All right. All right, you guys. Until next time. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.